Hey, second grade. This is Monday's lesson. And for this week, we are reviewing money, like today. So you're going to need your notebook. You should have 2 pages in your baggie. You're going to need scissors. And of course, your glue. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this page. So find this page first. And I'm going to cut along the sides and trim the white off. There's one side. There's the second side, and I'm going to go ahead and cut across the top and get rid of those words up there. Okay, so now all I should see is the penny, nickel, and dime. So I'm going to cut very carefully in between, just right above where it says nickel. So I've cut my penny 3 squares apart, and I'm going to do the same thing on the nickel and on the dime. Okay, so I just cut them apart. The next step, move this paper out of my way here, is I'm going to take my penny and I'm going to cut a little slant up on these black lines, because just like how we did on some of our pages last week, we want it to be able to flap up. Okay, so I didn't cut all the way up again, but as you can see, I can lift up the flap on all 3. So we want to repeat that for our other ones. And you may have to, like this one, I'm going to trim some white off of it before I cut. So, I'm going to trim some white off and then cut just a little bit up on the squares. Okay. And do the same thing again with my nickel. Alright, so that takes care of the first page. So I'm going to go ahead and open my notebook, go to a clean page. I'm going to start with my penny, and this is where you glue. So here's the front. See this line across? This is penny. I'm going to flip on the back, and that's the only part that I'm going to glue. I'm not going to glue any of the rest of it down, because again, I want my flaps to go up. Okay, so here it is in my notebook. Oops, I need to put some more glue on my end. And my flaps can flap up. So let me put some more glue on that little spot that popped up here. Okay, so then I'm going to take my nickel and do the same thing with it. Alright, so I didn't put them side by side, I left a little bit of space. But again, all my flaps can flap up. So that means I'm going to have to go to my next page, which is actually right behind the page I'm gluing now in my notebook, but yours could be here. This is from what we did last week. So I'm going to flip to my next page and glue my dime down. Hope we remember how much a dime is worth. Alright, and I got my dime down. So, next step is to take your last page, because we've got to get this quarter off here. I'm going to trim up my sides, and I'm going to cut across and cut these words off. While I'm at it, I'm also going to trim across to that big white strip on the bottom. I'm going to cut that off as well. Okay, so it should look like this. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut across and cut my quarter off. Okay, so then I'm going to cut my lines a little bit up. And once again, on that same page where I started the dime at the top, I'm going to put some glue on it and glue down my quarter. And if you haven't guessed by now, this is what your assignment is going to be. So again, I'm going to leave a little bit of space in between and glue my quarter down. So I've got my dime and my quarter on my other page. So now, the next steps would be cutting out each one of your squares. And if you haven't noticed, you should have a pile of what the coin looks like on the front, a pile of what the coin looks like on the back, and then a pile with numbers that say different amounts on them. So it's up to you if you want to, when you're cutting, sort those into different piles or if you want to make one big pile. So I've kind of kept mine sorted out. And I'm going to flip back to my page with my penny. And I'm going to look for what the front of the penny looks like. Now, before you glue these down, if you would like to color them with a marker or crayon or whatever, that's okay too. And if you would like to color these as well, that's fine. So, find my fronts here. Remember, my penny is copper, but on these you can't tell it. So here is my front of the penny. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. Okay, now I need to find the back of my penny. Going to glue that down next. And lastly, it says value, and by value it we know the penny is the smallest coin, worth the least. So it is only 1 cent. I'm going to put that under value. All right. So here's my front of the penny. Here's my back. And then I've got 1 cent under my value. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing on the nickel. Start off by finding the front. Oh, here's the front of my nickel. Now I have to find my back of the coin. There's my back of the nickel. And then how much is the nickel worth? Do you remember? 5 cents. All right. So once again, there's the front of my nickel. There's the back. And the value, or how much it's worth, is 5 cents. So guess what? You guys are going to have to do the dime and the quarter on your own. Once you have it finished, I want to see a picture of the front that we did together. You don't have to lift the flaps up, but I do want to see a picture of this, what we did together. And then I want to see a picture of the back, but I do want to see the flaps held up on the back side. So you could take a picture like this and then with it down. Okay, so you're going to do the dime and the quarter on your own. Okay, so that's what your assignment for today is going to be. And this part I'm going to leave optional, but I am going to offer a little bonus. So if you would like to do this part, once again, you don't have to, but it's optional. So if you would like a little bonus, I'm going to have you write down how much this is worth. So, you hold it closer where you can see the coins. You need to tell me how much cents is here by counting the coins on this one. And you also need to tell me how much is here to get full credit for your bonus. Once again, you don't have to do this part, but I thought it might be a little fun and also great review for your coins. Okay? All right, I will see you guys again on Wednesday. Bye.